Week 6 is upon us. Nateco here, Dustin there, Fantasy Smack Talk, talking about not tiers, just rankings for all the NFL positions, minus kickers. We don't talk about kickers, but if you want to get a good kicker, what I like to do is see a high over-under, and you can see that at...
Get on to mybookie.ag. That was pretty good. I like that. Most trusted sportsbook on the web. You should always be getting on there to check the over-unders to figure out your lineups. And if you're not liking your teams, get on there, place some bets. Click on the link in the description, use promo code SMACK, get up to 100% sign-up bonus, so check them out.
QBs!
Let's take a look at the QBs, and at number 4, Deshaun Watson. How crazy has this guy just been as of late? I mean, last week there was a lot of junk yards going on in the second half, but hey, they still count. They're still fantasy points, you know, even though I like how they got that one last touchdown in there right at the end that didn't mean anything, but still gets you the fantasy points. The guy's been amazing. You look at that matchup against Cleveland, you think it could be a blowout, but Houston lost 2 giant pieces to their defense, so it might be close enough to where Watson's having to throw the whole game, but we like him at number 4.
Number 11, I got Alex Smith. And Alex Smith, he's not the most flashy quarterback by any means, but what he does is, first of all, he doesn't turn the ball over, so you have to love that. And he's got so many weapons, and they're actually, you know, well, we'll see about Kelsey, but with Kelsey, with Hill, with Hunt, checking the ball down, or just giving it to Hill and watch him run 80 yards, Kelsey over the middle, it's just solid across the board. And again, due to the fact that he feels like he never turns the ball over, he's never putting up big numbers like he did week 1, but he's never putting up really low numbers either. He's a solid, consistent fantasy starter this year.
Before we get into running backs, a shout out to our week 5 FanDuel winner, BM Cooper 21. They're gonna get a sweet t-shirt. They won the cash. And this is going to be the last week if we don't get new signups, if we don't get new people in our game. It's kind of sad.
What do you mean? It's over? They're firing us? We're getting fired?
Click on the link in the description.
I'm not aware of this.
It's the last week if we don't do a little bit better.
They're cutting.
We can't fill it. We got 75 people. We can't get 75 people. Get in there. Let's talk about running backs. Click on the link in the description. It's a $5 game.
I told Dustin to do 50.
Let's talk about running backs. Jay Ajayi's guy I want to talk about. He hasn't been that good this year, but he's still getting the volume, and you just got to think at some point he's going to break one. I mean, that Miami offense in general just hasn't looked that great, but Atlanta's run D's not that good. I think you stick with him at least one more week. If he lets you down this week, then you can think about benching him, but you drafted him where you drafted him for a reason, and like I said, he's still getting the volume, so I think you got to stick with him this week in a good matchup.
I just didn't listen to a word you said. Listen, if you're out there and you watch our videos, do me a solid, don't even do Dustin a solid, do me a solid, sign up for FanDuel, play just 1 week. Let's fill it up 1 week. I don't want this to be the last week. Give us 1 week, please, please.
There you go.
Who am I talking about? Aaron Jones. He's probably going to be on the FanDuel. It's probably a great play. Plug him in, he's probably cheap, maybe you'll win. You're going to win a t-shirt, you can win some money, it's going to be amazing. I'm begging over here. Aaron Jones looked great, and I know the report just came out that he might be the starter going forward. That's kind of premature. That's a Raider going a little nuts with it. What they probably said is they have a lot of confidence in him. They could see him being the starter forever, moving forward. Therefore, I like him this week, even against a tougher Minnesota defense.
Yeah, I love me some Montgomery, but Montgomery owners need to worry a little bit.
Be worried, a little scared.
Let's move to the next 20. Elijah McGuire's the guy I want to talk about. Big fan of this guy. And it looks like Powell's probably going to miss, but Forte might come back. So I think even if Forte comes back, he's got a great opportunity to show us what he can do in this New England game. They should be, playing from behind, which doesn't really scare me with him because I think he'll get involved in the passing game as well. So I think McGuire's going to get a good chunk of carries and touches this week, and he does have a very high yards per carry up until the second half of last week. So I do think he's still got good potential in a nice matchup.
Hey, I'm really off by this. Thanks for telling me, boss. Adrian Peterson, number 31. And I know what you're thinking. Ew, Adrian Peterson has been awful, and he has been. But CJ 2K, or Chris Johnson, I guess not CJ 2K anymore, got cut to make way for Peterson. I know he's a running back. I know it's new team, but you don't have to scheme a ton for the running back. He just could get the goal lines. I wouldn't be shocked if I see him fall into the end zone behind it, which isn't a great Cardinals offensive line, but he definitely fits the Cardinals scheme more than what the Saints were doing with him.
At least he's going to get some touches. I don't want to watch him end his career on the sideline. I'm not expecting huge things, but it could happen now because at least he's going to get the touches.
Yeah, it could.
Wide receivers. I'm excited. I'm excited for him. Wide receivers, number 5, Julio Jones, been a big disappointment so far this year. I mean, he's been okay, but he just hasn't had those big monster games that you've been expecting out of Julio. Great matchup against Miami, though. Coming off the bye, hopefully his hip is close to 100%. Should have a good game.
Great buy low if you can find a sucker to trade him to you.
He's a good buy low guy.
Did you trade Julio?
I did. I couldn't wait through the bye.
Interesting.
I got good value.
Devontae Adams, who I want to talk about. Talking about another guy, Green Bay. But the thing about Adams I want to bring up is check back these rankings. So Saturday night, or during the week even, we update them, but we do a full scrub again on Saturday and into Sunday. So Devontae, whenever we heard that he was starting, moved him way up the rankings, which certainly worked out because he did have a great game. And with Jordy Nelson potentially still a little bit banged up, I see him being another target monster. Love me some Adams.
Next guy, number 29, Amari Cooper, another guy that has just been a huge disappointment this year. And he's not a guy that's a guaranteed start at this point. I mean, he's just been awful. But Carr should be back. He's got a good matchup against the Chargers. So everything would tell you that, hey, he's got a lot of potential this week. But we still got him at 29 for a reason. If you have other solid options, maybe you make him earn his way back into your starting lineup. But there's definitely potential this week, so we still think he's a wide receiver 3.
33 is Danny, my Danny boy, not his Danny boy. Danny Amendola. I've always loved this guy. Hate the concussions. Worry about him in the future. But he is playing this week. He's going to be going over the middle. He's going to be catching the ball. It's just tough for him to get into the end zone whenever they're close. They look at some of the bigger receivers or they run the ball. So buyer beware with him a little bit with that, but I'm still calling 6 catches, 72 yards.
There you go.
Put it in the book.
And if you got questions, matchup questions, lineup questions, post them in this video in the comments. We answer as many as we can, and we're on there Sunday morning answering any last-minute ones. Let's talk about tight ends. We're sticking with that Jets-New England game, which seems like an interesting game to me. It's a divisional game. You know, you would think that the Patriots are just going to blow them out, but I still think there might be a lot of fun fantasy
You only like
implications.
it for your boy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think there could be some fun fantasy implications for this one, including Austin Seferian-Jenkins at number 5.
Which isn't your boy. It's
2 weeks we had him at 20, then we had him at 10, now we got him at 5. The Jets need someone to step up, and he's kind of been that guy. He's been good, great matchup. You gotta think he's gonna have a good week this week, so we got him at number 5.
Number 8, gonna talk about Evan Ingram, but first, wow, Giants.
That's awful.
No Beckham, no Marshall, no Shepard probably this week.
Ugly.
It's ugly. Due to that, even though it's a tough matchup with Denver, he's got to be getting targets. I got to imagine he's going to get 8 targets this game. Even if Talib's covering him, it doesn't matter. Who else are they throwing the ball to out there? So based on that, it's where it needs to be. And I know we're going long, and I'll only talk about my defense quickly. Did anyone see an Odell? You're killing me because I got you in all my gang keeper leagues. But why does no one talk about him in the second quarter crying with a towel over his head?
It was weird.
And the guy hugging him?
That guy was hugging him.
It was so weird. Why is no one talking? Odell Beckham's an emotionally weird guy.
He was having a moment. He was having a moment.
But why? Like, what? It was. I was
There's
like,
just some things you just let go. Yeah.
It was so weird. No one's talking about it.
It was weird.
I mean, I get it. He broke it. Like, it's probably good he broke his ankle.
Let's talk about defenses. Here's a big one for you. Number 1 defense, we got Denver at home against the Giants. This should be ugly. I mean, what do they even have? Like Brent was saying, they don't even have any running backs. Like, there's no one to fear on that offense. Denver should do very well. MyBookie.ag, the over/under 39 with a -11.5 for Denver. I mean, that's one of the craziest spreads I've seen. It should be ugly.
I said I would go quick. Jags, number 2, 5 picks against Big Ben last week. Number 1 pass defense. Don't expect 5 picks again, but their defense is for real.
Jags D looks good. They look good. So that's week 6. Subscribe to our channel. Like we said, leave comments.
No. Yeah, do all that. Get into the FanDuel game, please.
We're
gonna get fired. We're getting fired.
We're getting fired.
Makes me sad.
It is sad, though.
I don't even want. Here. I was gonna say, if he catches it, you have to go in. There